Hi children, welcome back again. In this video lecture we are going to discuss about Kirchhoff laws. We know that in Ohm's law, which gives the relation between current and voltage, the Ohm's law we can apply only for simple circuits only. If it is a complicated circuit, by using Ohm's law, it is difficult to find the current distribution. So that in 1842, Kirchhoff's given two laws for finding the current distribution in a complicated circuit. Those laws are known as Kirchhoff laws. Okay. So Kirchhoff given two laws for finding the current distribution in complicated circuits. One is known as Kirchhoff's first law, which is also called current law or a junction law. The second is known as Kirchhoff's second law, which is also known as a loop law or a voltage law. Okay. Straight away we are going to discuss about Kirchhoff's first law. What is Kirchhoff's first law? It is also called current law or a junction law. That is, at any junction, sum of the currents entering into the junction is always is equal to sum of the currents leaving from the junction, or the algebraic sum of all the currents at any junction is always is going to be 0. See now, this is a junction. What do you mean by junction? Meeting point or a leaving point. Some currents are coming to that point and some currents are leaving from that point. That is called junction. This is a junction. I am taking this is my junction. This junction is also called node point. It is also called node point or a junction point. Now, according to Kirchhoff's first law, the sum of the currents entering into the junction is always is equal to sum of the currents leaving from the junction. Now, observe here, what are the currents entering into the junction, which are moving, approaching the junction? This is I1 is a current which is approaching the junction or coming to the junction, and I4 is a current which is approaching the junction or coming to the junction. And identify what are the currents leaving the junction. I2 is leaving the junction, I3 also leaving the junction. Sum of the currents entering into the junction. What are the sum of the currents entering into the junction? That is I1 plus I4 is always is equal to sum of the currents leaving the junction. What are the currents leaving the junction? I2 and I3. Therefore, this is I2 plus I3, which is known as Kirchhoff's first law. Sum of the currents entering into the junction is always is equal to sum of the currents leaving the junction. If I am bringing these two currents this side, what will happen? I1 plus I4 minus I2 minus I3 is equal to 0. I am writing C here. I1 plus I4 plus minus I2 plus minus I3 is equal to 0. What do you mean by this? It is also known as Kirchhoff's first law only. So why I taken minus sign, sir? These are the currents leaving the junction and these are the currents entering into the junction. Here we are going to see the sign convention. What is the sign convention? The currents approaching the junction always take as positive. The currents leaving the junction always take as negative. That's why these are the currents which are leaving the junction, which comes as negative sign. These are the currents which are approaching the junction. These currents are taken as positive. Therefore, sign convention. What is sign convention? Approaching the currents approaching junction taken as positive. The currents leaving the junction taken as negative. Okay. Algebraic sum of all the currents, if you take a summation of all the currents, is always is equal to 0. Summation of all the currents is always is equal to 0. At a junction, summation of currents meeting at a junction is also equal to 0. Okay. So, how the currents entering into the junction is always is equal to currents leaving the junction? How it is possible, sir? Okay, we will see. At junction, see, what do you mean by current? Current is mainly due to the charge. The number of charges entering into the junction, according to Kirchhoff's first law, number of charges entering into the junction is equal to number of charges leaving the junction. The charge is not going to accumulate at any point on a junction. The charge is not going to be accumulating. The charge is not going to be accumulating at any point on the junction. Therefore, that charge is obeying the law of conservation of charge. Charge is not accumulating. Charge is conserved. When the charge is conserved, means that is known as what? Law of conservation of charge. Therefore, I can say that very important objective, that is Kirchhoff's first law is based on which law? The law of conservation of charge. Law of conservation of charge. Why? Because charge is not accumulating. If it is a charge is going to be accumulated at junction, means this law is going to violate the law of conservation of charge. It is going to violating, not obeying the law of conservation of charge. That's why Kirchhoff's first law, right, follows the law of conservation of charge. The Kirchhoff's first law based on which law? Very important. That is it is based on law of conservation of charge. Law of conservation of charge. Law of conservation of charge. Very important aspect. Okay. Take a screenshot. Now we are going to start the numericals based on the Kirchhoff's first law. Okay, now we are going to see the numericals based on Kirchhoff's first law. Now, example 1. Find the current in the branch AB. Find the current in the branch AB. So this is a one junction, because the currents entering in the junction and some of the currents are leaving the junction. Therefore, this is a point. That point is known as junction. Now, how to find? We have to apply the Kirchhoff's first law. What is the Kirchhoff's first law? The currents entering into the junction is always equal to the currents leaving the junction. Now identify what are the currents which are entering into the junction. This is a 5 ampere is a one current which is entering into the junction, and 2 ampere current is leaving the junction, and I current also leaving the junction. Therefore, currents entering 5 ampere is equal to currents leaving 2 ampere plus I. We have to find current I in the branch AB. Therefore, I is equal to 5 ampere minus 2 ampere. Then I is equal to how much? 3 ampere. Therefore, option 3 is correct answer. Okay. Now, is it clear? Always we have to apply the rule. Okay. We have to apply the equation. Apply the first rule. Now, second, find the current in the below figure. This is a one diagram given, asking find the current. So we have to apply the current rule. That is, if you identify the junction, this is a one junction, and this is a one junction, and this is a one junction. Now, at junction we have to apply the junction rule. What is the junction rule? Sum of the currents entering into the junction is always equal to sum of the currents leaving the junction. What are the currents entering into the junction? 2 ampere and 2 ampere. So, which is equal to 2 plus 2 is equal to sum of the currents leaving the junction. We don't know that value, that is I. Therefore, what is that current? 2 plus 2, 4 ampere current is leaving the junction. 2 ampere combinedly giving like a 4 ampere. Now, the 4 ampere current is coming up to this up to here this junction. Now again observe here, so the current is again distributing. That is sum of the currents entering into the junction is always equal to sum of the currents leaving the junction. We don't know this current, right? We have to find it. To find the current value, always we have to apply, right? What is the current here? We don't know. We have to apply the current rule. That is sum of the currents. What are the currents? 4 ampere, which is equal to sum of the currents leaving 1 ampere plus I. Therefore, I is equal to 3 ampere current is, right? We are getting. Now, again this 3 ampere current is coming to this junction. Now, again apply the first law. Sum of the currents entering into the junction is always equal to sum of the currents leaving the junction. What are the currents entering into the junction? That is 3 ampere current is entering into the junction is always equal to 1.3 ampere plus I. Therefore, I is equal to 3 ampere minus 1.3 ampere. Therefore, I is equal to how much? 1.7 ampere. If you see, this is option 1 is the right answer. Okay, is it clear? Always we have to apply the rule. By applying, we can easily find it. Okay, now see here. Find the currents across the resistors. These are the two resistors given, R1 and R2. Okay. So across these two resistors, we have to identify the current. What are the currents are there across those two resistors? Okay. Now he given one 3 ampere battery, 3 3 ampere current is moving here. 3 ampere current is moving through that battery. Now, see here, simple. It is very simple. These are the currents which are coming. 3 ampere current and 2 ampere current coming like this coming. Again, they are meeting at a junction. And it is a current leaving from the junction. So, what is that current value? Directly we can say that 3 plus 2, this is how much? 5 ampere current. Okay. Now, this is a 3 ampere current is leaving, 3 ampere current is leaving, 3 ampere current is leaving. From here also 3 ampere current, from here also how much? 3 ampere current is leaving. At this junction, the current is a 5 ampere, it is leaving 3 ampere. Then the current is distributing into, right, this is I1 current is and it is I2 current. You can say that this is 5 ampere, going this side is 3 ampere, means how much current is going through across R1? Directly 5 minus 3, that is equal to 2 ampere current. Now across R2 how much current is going? 3 ampere, therefore across R1 current is how much? Across R1 current is equal to how much? 2 ampere current is going. Across R2 how much current is going? Across R2 3 ampere current is going. Okay, this is very easy. Okay, next, find the current through 12 ohm resistor in a given circuit. This is the diagram given. In this circuit we have to find the current across 12 ohm resistor. Across 12 ohm resistor we have to find the current. Okay, remember, we know that current always flows from higher potential region to lower potential region. From where to we have to start the current. If you observe, it is a 24 volt, it is a 6 volts potential and it is a 0 volt potential. So means current always flows from higher potential region to lower potential region, means our current is started from here like this. Okay, now I current is coming, for example. Now the I current is coming to here also. Now reaching the junction, right, it is going to distribute. Sum of the currents entering into the junction is always is equal to sum of the currents leaving the junction. So this I current is distributing like I1 and I2, distribution of current. Therefore I can write as I is equal to I1 plus I2 according to Kirchhoff's first law. Sum of the currents entering into the junction is always is equal to sum of the currents leaving the junction, I1 and I2. Okay, now this is a junction. At the junction what is the potential? We don't know. What is the potential? Any potential is given here at that junction? Not given. So that that potential I am taking as x volt I am taking. I don't know that potential. That potential I am taking as x volt. Okay, we know V is equal, according to Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. Okay, then I is equal to V by R. You have to remember this formula. V is equal to IR and I is equal to V by R. Now I am applying the Kirchhoff's law, right? So from here to here I am applying. That is at this junction, that is 24 I is equal to V by R. I is equal to how much current? This is a potential difference, 24 and x volt by R. What is the resistance? 12. 24 minus x by 12. I value how much? Between the two potential differences, 24 volt and x volt, right, by resistance is 12 ohm. Okay, is equal to I1 current. See, this is a I1. In this branch the I1 current is flowing. Therefore I is equal to V by R formula, x minus 6. Why? Because current is going upward direction. Therefore that is a current direction, we have to apply the potential difference. That is x minus 6 by 6. That is x minus 6 by resistance is how much? 6 plus I2. What is I2? This is I2, x minus 0 by 4. That is x minus 0 by 4. Now this is equal to 24x by 12 is equal to the, if you take the LCM as, okay, 24, okay, Now this is 4x minus 24 plus 6x. Okay. Now 12 ones are 12 twos are. If you do cross multiplication, okay, this is 48 minus 2x is equal to 10x minus 24. 10x minus 24. Okay. So 10x I am setting that side. 48, 24 is 72. That is equal to 72 by 12. 12 ones are 12 six are. Therefore x is equal to how much? 6 volt come. X is equal to 6 volt. Now we have to find the current across 12 ohm. Across 12 ohm. Therefore I am applying the first rule, that is 24 minus, this is current I is equal to 24 minus 6 by 12. 24 minus 6 is how much? 18 by 12. 6 3s are 6 2s are, that is equal to 3 by 2. Therefore current across 12 ohm resistor is equal to how much? It is 1.5 ampere. It is equal to 1.5 ampere. Option C is the right answer. Okay. Now take a screenshot.